planet, then maybe you start to feel like, oh, maybe we should reincorporate some of those ideas and try to make it modernized. And let's try to get some of the values that they had back in Kemet or whatever you want to call Egypt or whatever, and try to modernize it for today's world, because they were able to get along and they were the center of the universe when it came to running the motherfucking planet. Right now, it's not the case. The Europeans, like you said, a small amount of people are dominating a large amount of people that don't look like them. So that's why it looks like white supremacy is actually working, because you got a little bit controlling a lot. But we're the lot. We need to regain our control over ourselves and hopefully over the rest of the planet.
And the only way we gain that control is through education. And I'm not saying education in a white man's sense, in a white man's form, because we had this discussion a couple weeks ago. Education comes in many forms. Harriet Tubman did not have a PhD, but she was one of the smartest women to walk this planet. Very educated. We just have to educate ourselves and be like, yeah, informed. Thank you. I appreciate that. Being informed, being on the same page, being like able to move as one. Like we have
And
to.
I'm gonna get. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's that?
Is that Keith talking? No.
Hmm?
I'm gonna get. But I just want to say this real quick. I appreciate your passion with this conversation, Toxic. This is probably the firmest that I've heard you speak since I've been coming into your lives. And, being a younger man than myself, maybe, these conversations will lead to something positive. As my grandmother has always taught me, if you change one person or help one person in your lifetime, then you've done a world of something. So I appreciate you, young men. Keep doing what you're doing and stay passionate about it, and something will happen. Much love.
Peace and blessings.
And happy birthday one more time.
Happy birthday one more
Yeah,
again.
what's going on, man? Um, I'm listening to everything that you all saying, and you're totally right. Nothing wrong with the ideal of pushing the movement, but first, like I said, we have to become, I guess, financially literate, and I feel like as a movement, first, you should be focused more on the children, because for one, with my children, this is what I educate them on. Hey y'all, I need y'all to do something right quick. Let Come on, Cole. What do I teach y'all about? What what do I teach y'all about? Financial what? Financial literacy, right? So y'all learn about the class. We have a system that we put together called the cash flow quadrant, right? So what's a E?
For that,
Employee,
So what's a S?
self-employed,
What's a B?
business owner,
And what's a I?
investor.
So do you want to be an E?
No,
Why not?
because they work for somebody else.
What about an S?
Um,
S is what again?
a self-employed.
So what about being self-employed?
They work for themselves, but
Speak up a little bit so they can hear you.
they
hey,
work for
hold on, L.
themselves, but
Yeah, what you say, man?
No. I mean, I'm gonna agree on the financial literacy, but I think
hmm
when it comes to a nation, economics is only one sliver of the pie. There's a lot
Well,
more.
well,
I mean, when it comes
that's
to
the point. That's the point that I'm making right there, man. The point is, if you start there, then you have a bigger thing that you can work on now. So if I'm starting here, guess what's gonna happen with them later on? It's gonna be pushed towards others who gonna want to learn, because we have a lot of poor families, and believe it or not, those poor black families. That's what they need to learn. We can push all this Black Power movement. We can push all this all day, but that's not gonna solve the issue. The issue is what they don't know. That's the issue, because them not knowing something, that's what's keeping them in poverty in the first place. So we followed the Huey Newtons and the Stokely Carmichael. We followed them, and I get it. They had an ideal and they had a plan that was set for them in their time. But remember, we're in a time now where it's more or less now not following what our ancestors did, because the shit didn't work for them, and that's the reality. And the reason why it didn't work for them, because they tried to push something that was trying to change everybody. We know that as a collective, you don't change everybody. You start in the hood, in the Bible. God said Jesus went to the highways and the byways. You don't go push it towards people who don't have no knowledge of, like right now, brother. I'm listening to you brothers talking right now. Y'all already have this knowledge. You know the problem? It's a lot of poor mothers, single mothers. Single mothers now, they don't have the same knowledge that you got. It's a lot of poor fathers. These people don't have this knowledge, and guess what? They the regular everyday African American who probably didn't graduate college, who probably didn't. And not saying that you have to graduate college to know this, but you have people who graduated college and who still don't know this. So guess what? They not thinking about those poor mothers. They not thinking about those poor fathers that's still in the hood. So I look at it like the money don't make the person. It's about what you're doing with it. We all have some kind of thing that we did for our community, like back to school giveaways. I did all that kind of stuff. But guess what? If I would have known what I know now, then I would have been doing things different because I felt accomplished when I was just giving back to people who didn't have it. But now I feel like, hey, I started educating my own children on something that I never learned when I was young. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I say financial literacy is the biggest thing that needs to be taught, because if you teaching people about stuff like that, then that's gonna teach them how can we all invest our money together? Because people not sold on the idea of, hey, let's come together, let's do this. Cause think about it. Pastor P said it, and people in the comments saying it now. The first thing gonna happen is you're gonna get a lot of these people together, and it's gonna be good for a minute. But you're gonna have some random person worrying about, hey man, who holding the money? The best thing is to have people who are already on the same concept. If they on the same concept as you, then they're the people who you need to move with, and that's my opinion. But I totally agree with y'all, brother, and I'm all for it. Like I'm ready to invest in something like that. I'm all for it. Like I don't disagree with anything that y'all saying. I just wanted to give my part on, and this is what I teach my children. So like I want them to start where when they get older, man, won't nobody ever be able to swindle them out of anything. They already know the game. They already on point.
So
Appreciate
I
that.
have I have a quick question too, because I've heard it twice. I've heard it twice
Hmm.
tonight where they said that we can't come together, and when we do come together, it all get fucked up. But like that doesn't mean that we stop trying. That doesn't mean that the fight ends. Like, you know what I'm saying? That only means that there's still a lot more fight to be had and a lot more fighting to be done. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I know we get frustrated a lot of times when we try to do things as a collective, but that doesn't mean that we give up on our people. We don't give up on our children. You know what I'm
Sure,
saying? And to a certain extent, but we can't give up on ourselves, because that's
sure.
exactly the mentality that they want us to have, so that we just sit stuck in the position that we're in. And that's
Hmm.
the confusion. That's
Hmm.
how they keep us confused and off kilter. So you know what I
I
mean?
get you.
Like we can
I
never
get you.
give up, and we have to.
But the bigger issue is making sure that we are getting the right message out there to the people. I would never, like you said, bro. I would never stop educating my people. That's what I would never stop doing. I can't help them. I'm not in the business of helping anybody, because when you help people, guess what's gonna happen? You giving people something that they not gonna take advantage of. If you giving them knowledge, then they don't have no choice but to either listen or go on by their business. That's how you help them. Because like I said, it's a lot of people we didn't know about Bitcoin. Let's be realistic. Black people, normal everyday black people, we didn't learn about Bitcoin till Bitcoin got to where it's at now. Like even people learning forex. How many people in the comments know how to do forex? How many people even interested in stuff like that? But guess who's been doing it all this time? People,
Yeah,
white people
I
been
mean,
doing this stuff all the time. But see, our people not taking advantage of all this stuff because they don't know. And this goes back to financial literacy. If these people know,
I think it
then
goes
guess
back to
what? We giving them
education,
something that they
period,
can
not just
use.
financial.
yeah,
That's all
there's
I'm
a
saying.
lot more to it. I feel you, Dale, and I hear what you're saying. Finance, economics, I could dig
Hmm.
that. But again,
Exactly.
we're trying to build a nation, which
Hmm.
requires that is part of it. Economics is going to require education. It's going to require healthcare. It's going to require some kind of military to
Hmm.
protect us, because we had economics over there in Rosewood. We had it in Black Wall
Sure.
Street, and that shit failed.
Yep.
We got fucking
But
smoked
but
out.
you know why it failed.
And
Like
I appreciate you. We got to get ready to close the show up and shit like that because we run out of time. But look, we had that happen. You know what I'm saying? We did our thing. But again, that shit was the first attack on American soil. We got fire bombed. Black Wall Street got decimated because they had good economic strategy, but they didn't have no kind of protection for themselves. So look. Again, it's a good idea. Financial literacy, we're all about it. In addition to everything else that we need for an entire nation to become sovereign. It's about having our own shit so that we could be independent and reliant on others. And so we have to think about that as one small cog in the wheel. Look, y'all, it's time and shit like that. We're gonna have to continue this another time, but we are running out. We did 2 hours. Unfortunately, I have a personal appointment I got to attend to, but shit, I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate all that y'all have contributed to the conversation. What's happening? See, Money, you got something to say real quick? Can we make it brief?
Yeah, I just wanted to say this real quick. I heard people talking about what are you doing now, this or that. This is what I do on a day-to-day basis. I pick out the ones that come to me because certain people gonna come to you, and the young people, certain ones that see how you move, they're gonna attract to you. Those are the ones you plant your seeds in, and you let it grow from there.
Much love.
How?
That's what's plant seeds where you can. You know what I'm saying? Even if it doesn't seem like it's going to grow right away, just plant the seed and don't sit around for it. It will grow later. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to be there to watch it. But at this point, y'all, shit, unless Cali, P, y'all got anything to add and shit like that? I personally got to make a little run.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
And you know me, my mini series starts tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific. That's all. Come through, look at the flyer. Please come through and support. Just come through, listen to a good story.
That's what I'm talking about. Go see that. And I forgot to plug my own shit. I think I'm gonna try to I'm gonna do something tomorrow called The Bridge. I'm gonna try to bridge the gap between the hetero and the LGBTQ community. So we're gonna have some people representing our side and their side of the app. So we're gonna all talk together and try to figure some things out. So please come through to that. That's gonna be 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time,
Kelly,
6 p.m. over there on the East
Kelly, they
Coast.
said you was on the top bunk of all 23
Happen?
Uh,
Y'all, we
this
appreciate y'all's
motherfucker
time.
here. Bye, P. This nigga crazy as fuck.
We appreciate participation and shit like that. Let's try to get it together and swing that one more time and shit like that when we can. We coordinate our schedules accordingly. We will see you then. As for now, thank you, peace and blessings, and good night.